Hey there, guys, what is going on? We are back in Season 5 of Cold War, and this is going to be your Echelon map guide. This is one of the two brand new maps in the game at the moment. This, of course, currently does have the 24/7 playlist. I mean, we are waiting for Slums, because that's going to be so cool. But Echelon is an interesting map in this game. I actually think it is very cool. It's one of those maps where I think it is going to divide a lot of people, but there is actually, again, some thoughtful map design here, and some interesting set pieces that make this map actually very interesting. There's pretty much something for everyone on this map. You get a bit of long range combat, as you can see. You can pretty much see from that window there up into that like sniper nest there as well. There's this big open courtyards. There's that window there. Like there's just lots of lines of sight that are fairly long. But then most of the outside of the map is pretty short range. Like you can see that this is literally just courtyards and corridors and you can just jump over. Like there's just a lot of stuff for everyone on this map. And I think it's actually really good. Just before we do get into it here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it and it really does help me out. We are looking for 6,000 subscribers very soon and 10,000 by the end of the year. So if you could help me achieve that goal, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So as we normally do, we are going to start off with the A, B, and C flag. Here we are spawning on the C side, and this is basically in the bottom of this tower here. It does encompass basically this entire room, including the ladder. If you look at the ladder here, we just wait for that to... Nope. You just jump on the ladder. You can actually cap it while you're on the ladder as well, which is fairly interesting. You do sort of have to actually be on that ladder to capture the flag, which is interesting, but not too big of a deal. That doesn't usually come up most of the time. But if you are sitting in this, just sort of sniping, minding your own business, and so on, if somebody does walk into here, you can pretty much guarantee that they are either going to climb the ladder or just sort of try and wait for you to peek down here. So just keep that in mind here. If we go through the middle of the courtyard here across the open bit, I really actually do think this map is very interesting. The middle of the map, this room here, the control room that you saw in the trailer, where Kitsune turned the good boys bad. You know what happened. You've seen the trailer. This is basically the entirety of the B flag. It is fairly large, and most of the time when you are contesting the B flag, it's one of those like options where you'll sit over this side and you just wait and you get the contested and somebody will just walk into that door, jump in that window. So it's a fairly large flag, which is fairly interesting here. And then moving through to the other side, the A flag is basically this sort of underbit here. We can walk over here. That is another sniper's nest. The only way in there is, of course, jumping up here and then those stairs. And then you see it, that is this bit here for the A flag, looking all the way down here. Again, the ladder. The ladder doesn't do it this time, so the ladder is actually... But once you do walk up here, say you are trying to get somebody who is up here, they will know that you're coming unless they're not actually paying that much attention, which it does happen fairly often. So one of my favorite parts of this map is actually this side over here. Like, this is one of the most common engagement locations, and they've designed it that way. I think it is really clever how they've done this. From memory, I believe the A side gets to this spot first from my testing and what I have seen playing this map. Every time I have run from basically that side there all the way through this corridor, I'm usually able to get here first and then line up a shot and kill anybody who does peek here. Keep in mind, that might not be accurate. It sort of depends on spawns probably, but I've gotten here first pretty much a lot of the time. So just keep that in mind, something to consider. My next favorite thing about this is, of course, you can just jump out here and just walk along these. Like, it is very clear and very purposeful that you can literally just jump out on here and take somebody by surprise. If they are sort of holding this area here, you can sort of see up into there, see the C flag and sort of that window there. If you just sort of jump on the outside of this, you really can just flank someone who is just sort of not paying attention, which is a really good feature of this map. I do enjoy that. And the exact same thing on the other side as well. You can just sort of come out here as well and jump onto this area, except this one is sort of very like protected from this sniper window here, which you see. Like a lot, you can just see it. Like, I mean, it does get covered by your gun sometimes, so it sort of depends on when, and you got to get lucky a little bit. But I mean, if you are just sort of watching this, you are going to die if you do come up from the vent there. A lot of people will actually lay down here. I have found myself doing this on more than one occasion. I'm not sure why. I think it's basically just because it is protected from the other sides. You lay down on this box and just wait for somebody to peek into you, because that's just how it goes. Like, you can be seen from the stairs there and the stairs up there. So if you do lay behind this, I've seen a lot of people do this, and I did it myself, and it was actually fairly effective. But if somebody does just walk up behind you, they'll see you laying down there, and you're like, an easy kill. So maybe don't do that, but it can be useful sometimes. Another bit that I want to talk about is, again, the sniper's nest on the C flag. We do have to get this fairly quickly so we don't actually start ticking down the timer for the actual capture. We don't want to have a time limit on this. And you can see all the way to that window back there. You can see the B flag. You can see that area there. You can see the middle. You can see like there. Very common for people to sit in that little stairway bit and shoot up here. So just keep in mind, if you do have a longer range weapon, a sniper, an EM2 or something like that, you will pretty much need to keep an eye on there, that window back there, and then that window there, and sometimes over there as well. That ladder is, of course, the only way to get up here. So this is a little bit of an interesting one when you do compare it to the other side. Like, this is the only way to get up here from what I have seen. There's no ladder on the outside or anything like that. It is literally just inside. So that is a little interesting. Another one of my favorite bits of this map that I only discovered recently as I was playing it. Of course, you can jump out this window. That is fairly self-explanatory, and you can kill yourself like that. That is exactly what I meant to do. But more importantly, you can actually go on the outside here. This is pretty cool. I love this bit. I love stuff like this in these maps, man. You're just like, oh, I got to get... Say there is somebody here. Say there's somebody there, and you're like, oh, I got to get past. I can't really go this way. I can go back here. Go all the way back here. He can't really see you, and then you can just sort of flank him, go outside. This is so cool. I love this. And then you can take him by surprise. You get an easy kill on somebody who is sitting there. Keep in mind, you are exposed from that way down there. We'll talk about that more in a second. But just a nice little way around. Again, this is part of that thoughtful map design that I was talking about. You can even run on the outside here again. Very, very cool stuff. If you want to take a little flank, just run outside here and then go all the way around is very, very cool. Again, keep in mind, because I fell off there, you will fall off this map a lot. Like, it's just something that happens. You'll fall off and just don't worry about it too much. It is going to cost you a death. Maybe lose a streak from time to time, but you're going to fall off the map, man. You are going to fall off. It is what it is. Again, you can actually just jump over this side very, very easily. A lot of people don't usually sit in here, but if you do look through here, you can actually get a decent shot all the way across there, and people usually run from the C flag across that courtyard. And again, if you do have a long-range weapon, your sniper, your EM2 or something like that, you can actually just get easy kills on people as they run across there. Again, this room is fairly interesting. It's fairly standard for the most part. You will very likely see people just sitting on this head glitch here, waiting for you to sort of peek out. But again, you do have a little bit of an advantage here, as there is this board here. As you can see, you can sort of get a little bit of an idea that they're there and then come across and dome them. So just keep in mind, that is something that is going to be constantly in combat here, depending on where you are on the map, because you will usually have to engage somebody who is there. Another spot that is all about timing is this position here with this barrel here, and then if you go on the other side, it is basically the same on the other side as well. I think, again, this is another opportunity for the A flag to get here first. I've done the same kill 4 games in a row, basically just sprinting up here with my EM2 and aiming down sight, looking to hit that spot there. You just wait, and then somebody will come around here and you'll be able to get them killed. Basically, that happened to me 4 times in a row. I killed the same people just doing the same thing. They were just like, oh, is there anybody there? And I was already like up here. So keep in mind, you will very likely get here first from the A flag, so you can get an easy jump on people, easy kill on people who do come from this way. Keep in mind, again, another spot that you can fall off. This is another one of my favorite parts of this map, is this outside bit here. You can't actually jump here. I've tried it. I can't really get that jump right. Somebody might be able to do it out there, but if you come on this side as well, you can actually jump from here. You can make it if you jump a little bit better than I did, and then you jump across here into this room. But you can also just jump from this side as well. This is a little closer. You can actually make that jump there. And again, this is very, very cool. I love stuff like this. But again, this does feel a little bit like, what's the map? The construction one, Modern Warfare. It's Hard Hat. I had to Google that. This is very, very similar to something that you would see in Hard Hat. Just the aesthetic and the vibe here. But again, it does feel a little bit like it as well. If you do come across here, you can see this is a fairly obvious line of sight. You just poke your head up and try and kill people who are attempting to get across this little bridge thing. Again, for the most part, you will likely get here first over somebody who does run from the C flag. You do have a little bit of an advantage. You can wait for somebody to peek out. And again, just take them out when they do a little peek out there. And again, you just sort of have control of this. And this does, of course, link up to the B flag, and you will sort of get into a lot of gunfights in this corridor. Man, I have died so many times. I got so many kills in this little corridor here. It's only small. This is one of the most frequently trafficked areas of the map, and of course there is the resupply there, but because it does connect the B flag to the rest of the map, this is so hotly contested, and pretty much if you do control the B flag on this map, this little upper area, you control most of the map. It's going to be pretty tricky for me to sort of talk about the lines of sight in here without capping the B flag, so we're just going to do it. Basically, the C flag there does look over sort of that little sniper area there. You can control that. There's another doorway behind that little box there. It is carefully thought out that you can't actually just shoot into that box. Always thinking they are Treyarch. Basically, you just kill people who do walk out there. Again, there's another doorway there and another doorway there. And also, they do come from that side there as well. So just keep in mind, if you are in these positions, you do very much have map control. And it's the exact same thing on the other side. You can see sort of there's a doorway there. There's a window there. There's another door there. And then there's like that line of sight there as well. A lot of people will just come over here and immediately sprint up onto the stairs. They'll literally just head out of this doorway without a care in the world, not even looking, just be like, yep. Jump up here, and not even worry about it. So this is, again, another hotly contested part of the map. This particular doorway here, that is a little less hotly contested in my opinion. I feel like people don't really utilize that as much as they should in comparison to this side. I get a lot more kills on this side, people coming up here like that. Again, another very interesting part of this map here that I like is that little sign. just again, the thoughtfulness of some of this map design is just so clever, man. Like the sign blocks off that doorway, and you sort of have to expose yourself a little bit in a different way because you can't see through the sign. Like it's really, really thoughtfully designed. I do love stuff like that. I mean, it's a little annoying that it blocks off your line of sight, but when you think about why it's there, it's designed to stop people from sort of shooting immediately down here. They have to take a little bit of a better angle and expose themselves to somebody who is sitting here. So it's just very good map design in my opinion. Again, another little bit that you will definitely fall off and try and get away from people. Say somebody is following you from around this side. Again, you can jump over here as well. You will fall off this. You will screw these jumps up. I've already died a number of times just messing jumps up. It is so, so common. And again, you will be following someone. You'll just be like, oh God, I gotta go. I gotta go. And then you try and jump up here and you just don't make the jump. It happens so much. Don't worry about it. It is what it is here. And again, we come all the way back here. This is another spawn. You get a nice look of the outside area. It's actually a pretty good and detailed outside area. I actually do like this. Again, you come all the way up here. Can't climb onto there, which is a little disappointing. But again, this does lead into this corridor. A lot of people will sit there. When they do come out of this sort of bridge area, they will sort of just peek out this side. So just be aware, people do go from that doorway there. As you can see, there's a doorway there. And they will immediately, the first instinct is not to go this way because that is exposed to that and that and that. And it's just bad. So you are forced to go this way and sort of shoot back there. But because that is a spawn, are literally killed immediately. So this is a bit of a rough spot to sit in. I wouldn't recommend coming here too much. And again, we see the other side of the sniper nest. As you can see here, this is, again, the only two ways into there are that bit there and the stairway. You can probably take a mine or something there, or even like your field microphone just to sort of cover this area, make sure people don't sneak up on you. And again, it is pretty much the exact same. You can see the little connector bit down there. You can see that door. You can see that window. You can see the sniper's nest. Again, it is a little better on the other side because that little pillar thing there does actually block off that line of sight. But again, there is the doorway there. People come from that bit there. And then there is the doorway there that you can sort of get a nice little angle onto people who are in there. But I really, really do like this map. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be a fan favorite, but it is one of those maps where you do get a little bit of everything. And it probably depends on how you do actually play the map, whether you probably like it or not. I really think there's a lot of thoughtful map design here, especially with stuff like this. Just being able to jump on the outside and sort of take as many routes as you want. Again, stuff like that side there is always very, very thoughtful, and I do appreciate it. You'll mess this jump up more than you think, man. And you can actually sort of just take that jump that way as well. I wouldn't recommend doing it from the other side because you will die, but you can jump up on here and then just sort of skip that jump as well. That is really, really nice. Again, most people do. Again, there is a sign here. Just thoughtful. I love it. I love it. It's not as useful as the other one, as this is blocked off by this big brick house here, man, like the concrete ball. And then you jump up here, and a lot of time you'll get into gunfights in this room. Most of the time, people will sit behind this. This is just such a hot spot, man. Like, literally, this is an embarrassing story. I was having a gunfight. I was trying to shoot somebody just in behind here, just hiding, using this as cover. And somebody used their absolutely enormous brain on me, and I was devastated, man. He basically chucked a tomahawk off this roof here. It bounced off the roof, and it hit me in the face. Because he knew that this is just sort of a bowl area. If he chucked it at the roof at that angle there, pretty much, it was going to hit me. And it did. And I was just like, that's tough. That could only happen to me, I'm pretty sure. So that's not going to be something you're going to have to worry about. But just keep that in mind. You can actually bounce like a tomahawk or something like that off this roof here and try and kill somebody off a ricochet off somebody who is behind that green box in there. But again, that's pretty much all I have to say about this map. It looks massive, man. Like, it looks way bigger than it feels, but it is actually quite a thoughtful, good map. I do like the longer lines of sight. If you get a sniper, you're going to have a good time, man. You're going to have a fun time shooting across here, especially with the EM2 assault rifle. You can get into gunfights from there, from here, and shoot people across the way, and you'll absolutely gun people down. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, as I said, hopefully you did enjoy this one. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on if you have not already done so. And of course, I will see you in the next video with more Season 5 content coming very, very soon. Bye!